Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notifications because I'm always sharing great contents for you. Alright, in this video we will continue creating our invoices. Actually, we already created, added and removed our products, and now it is time to send them to the API. Alright, let me have a look at the project. Controllers, invoice API controller, invoice controller. Okay, so we have create invoice, add product, remove product. Perfect. Let me have a look at my API. Let's run the API. Let's keep it run all the time because we always send requests to it. Just waiting. Yep, the API is running right now. Perfect. Alright, before starting video, I need to show you a diagram. You might be confused what I've done in our previous lesson. I just would like to refresh your memory, and I just would like to show you what we're gonna do for future. Okay, let's open this diagram. Perfect. This green shape has, just consider it is our web page. So we have add product, remove product button, and we have create invoice and cancel invoice button. Alright, so we finalized add and remove button. Then today we're going to complete create. If we have time, I'm going to complete the cancel as well. First of all, we created two AJAX requests for add and remove. On JavaScript side we used jQuery, and this add and remove AJAX basically send a request to an action method located in our C# controller. And it is basically, it does the job, complete the process, and send the data to the cache memory. And same as for the remove as well, send the data to cache memory, and all done. This job is done, but we have a return value to the AJAX. Okay, so once we return a successful message, we're going to, we didn't do it yet, but I'm gonna add a logic here. If we have a success, it is going to create invoice action method right now. And if we have an error message, we're going to return error messages. I'm gonna add a toaster message. It's a really basic thing in our front end side. I'm going to put these error messages at the end of our all methods. So when we get a success message, we're sending a request to create invoice action method, and basically it does send the request to the cache memory, receive the data, send it back to our main invoice, create invoice page. So we have add and remove our draft products from our list. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm going to build our create button. We're going to create an action method which is called send invoice to API or something like that. It is going to basically go to the cache memory. It is going to get the latest data updated on cache memory, and we will send it to the API. Then once it's completed, we will return all invoice pages. Then we will going to build our cancel HTTP request. It's going to be HTTP request as well. When the user click the cancel button, basically it is going to make a request to an action method located in our controller, and it is going to remove the cached invoice located in our cache memory. Then it will redirect us to all invoice pages again. Alright, if something changes, we will go back. We can change the diagram anyway. Okay, let's close it for now. Let's continue where we left. Okay, let's make a HTTP GET request public. This is going to be asynchronous method because the HTTP request must be asynchronous if I remember correctly. Let's make a synchron. If it's needed, I'm going to switch it. Action result, send invoice to API. Alright, so what we need to send, I don't know yet, just leave it empty. We can fill it later. Actually, we need to send our cache key, right? So make it string cache key is asserted because we're going to search the data according to this cache key. Alright, let's get a result from our cache key. War result equal memory cache. Try to get a value cache key out invoice correct DTO cached invoice. This is the one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is if result is false, sorry, it's my fault. If it's false or cached invoice is null, so we got a problem then. So we're going to throw new exception. We're going to fill those exception later, as I mentioned before. Exception. Perfect. Leave it like this for a second, for a while. Yes, now we got our invoice here. Invoice create DT. All we need to do is send it to the API. Okay. Let's say we have a result name. Result API request. So we need to use invoice service, create invoice async. Yeah, this is async method, so I'm gonna put an await here. So we need to drop our action method with the task. That's all. So what is asking us for us? Integer ID. So it is asking us a client ID, so we need a client ID as well. Integer ID is a client ID, right? Let me have a look again. Let's have a look. Auto implementation. Get async ID. Yeah, it must be the client ID. Let's see. And this is a lesson for you and myself. If you type in ID, it's better to type the name explicitly. What is that for exactly? So we never get confused. Okay, so I'm gonna send the ID here. Okay, so we get a result. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's the create invoice async. This is my fault. Okay, so it is requesting a invoice create DTO. So this is the invoice. This is my fault, guys, sorry about that. All right, perfect. So we have a return value. So you can, if you need to return value, you can keep it, but in this circumstance I don't need a return value. Should I keep it? Let me think for a while. We can return a messages. For now, let's keep it like this. Just to remember, let's put a note. We can return a success message. Okay, let's leave it for remember, to make it remember me. Then we're going to return redirect to action. Where is redirect to action? Oh my god. Redirect to action. Okay, we need to go back to get all invoices for company. And invoice controller, is it taking any? It is receiving client ID, and it is going to be new. So our client ID is client ID. Let me have a look. We have a result right here. Okay, result dot, no, not result, sorry, cached invoice dot, we have a client ID here. Perfect. So we got our redirect to action method here completed. All we need to do is, let's go back to create invoice view model. Where is my, let me see my views. Oh my god, where is the invoices? Yeah, invoice for company. Okay, where is the create button? This is the create button. Now we need to add implementation. So it's going to be ASP, it's going to be HTTP request. So I'm going to use ASP tag helpers, ASP action. The name of is, what was the name of? Just let's make a copy and paste, not to get any errors. And the controller ASP controller is going to be invoice. Do we need to send a data? Yep, we need to send cache key and the client ID. Okay, let's make it client ID. Client ID. Okay, why I send the client ID? No, we don't need to send it, so it's my fault. We don't need to send the client. We already have our client ID in cached invoice, so just delete it. All we need to send it a cache key. Let me see. Okay, data. No, not data. Sorry, ASP root cache key is going to be. Okay, now where is our cache key located? Here. Invoice controller cache key. Can we? But this is a private. Okay, we can just copy this. What if I make it public? Let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen. Invoice controller. I'm just wondering. Dot invoice cache key. Yeah, this is much more type secure if you use like this. And we add our namespace here. Let's take it to View imports. Okay, let's close it. This is the controller. Perfect. So we're going to send the invoice cache key for the create method. Let me see, is there anything should I do? I think that's all. Let's run the application and let's see the result. Okay, while it's opening, I'm gonna check do we have any invoices here. Try it out, execute. Okay, we already have number 7, number 12, number 7, number 12. Okay, let me delete it, those two. Number 7 deleted, success, and number 12 deleted, success. I think let's execute. We got nothing. We have no invoices in our system now. Let's open the app. Okay, as you can see, all invoices is empty. That's why we receiving correct invoice section. Let's use test compiler 3, create invoice. Let's select an item, quantity 15, PO number is that one, add product, perfect. Let's select an item, cement 45. I would like to change the PO. Let's add product. Alright, all done. And let's add one more time, cement, make it 5 to whatever it is. Let's add product. Oh my god, we did something wrong. Let's just remove it, but I just realized the PO is all is wrong as well. Let's make it 555 and just remove the item. Oh, we have a debug here. Let's remove it and continue. Okay, the PO is updated and the wrong item is deleted, so all of them is working. Now all we need to do is send, click the create button and see what's gonna happen. But before that, I'm gonna put a breakpoint and I would like to see if it's working exactly step by step. Okay, let me open the, let's click the create button. Okay, we send a cache key here. Let me see. Okay, invoice draft list. Let's go with the F10. So we got a true. The cache invoice has been received. Client ID, invoice date, invoice items, but invoice date is wrong. Let's send it like this, and next try we going to amend the invoice date as well. We can add invoice date here because this is the final execution of creation an invoice. Let's continue. Let's have a look at the request. Okay, we received the result, but the invoice date is wrong, so we're going to fix it. Let's continue now. as you can see, this is the invoice list of test company 3, PO number, net, VAT, and total. Let's have a look our where is my API? Okay, this is the API. Let's have a look. This is the invoice ID, PO number, and these are the items one by one, and this is the invoice date, which we need to fix these as soon as possible. I'm just minimize it. Let's close the app, and once we get cached invoice here, we can cached invoice dot invoice date is going to be date time now. Perfect. Now it will be okay. I'm not gonna try this. Think it's going to be 99.99. It's going to work. Let's continue. Other scenario, cancel invoice. So why do we need cancel invoice? Okay, because we're using cache memory and it can be frustrated if we didn't add any cancel invoice thing. Okay, let's run the application one more time. Let's go clients, get all clients. Okay, let's use test company, create invoice. Okay, we add some thing here. Let's add product. This is an example. What if you have an emergency thing, and if you go back for a second, and if you would like to create another invoice for another company, so you have this thing as well. As you can see, this is really wrong thing. You just click another company, but you got a create invoice here as well. Okay, it might be a bug actually. If you would like to, if you cancel the invoice, we're going to just click delete button. You will cancel all data from our database. But just I realized whenever we click the create invoice thing, we need to call our data according to their ID as well, I think. Let's fix this first, then we can continue the cancel invoice. Okay, actually I was trying to tell you, when you click create invoice, it must be a fresh page. You can't delete it anyway, so you need to just imagine there is 1,000 different items, and you don't need to remove items one by one. You can delete the whole invoice thing just once for all. Okay, so when you delete it, it must be deleted completely. But I just realized there is another bug. I'm just clicking another company and it comes here as well. So when we send this create invoice while we are in this company, it is going to send to that company, I'm assuming. Alright, then let's have a look our codes for a second. Add product, remove product. Okay, create invoice for company. So we have a client ID, yeah? We have a client ID here. Okay, so return cache invoice. I'm just thinking this invoice must be belong to this client exactly, and we can keep the invoice cache key with the client ID. So this invoice draft list, invoice cache key, we must use unique invoice cache key for each customer. So I'm going to change the name base cache key. Okay, and it is going to be, actually I'm just gonna delete it. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not going to use it because it's going to be unique for each company. I'm going to string cache key. Okay, so it is going to be, let's use a string interpolator, invoice create draft dash, we're going to give a client ID. So this is our cache key for each customer. Let's have a look. Is there an error? Is there any errors here? Yeah, we are using this cache key for many of places, and here. Okay, so we're going to create this string for all of them. We have client ID here, invoice create draft. Let's use this cache key. Use this cache key. Okay, let's add it here. Perfect. So we need to use this cache key as well for the here. Create invoice API. Let me have a look. This is now has to be changed. We don't have this one anymore. So let's use, what is the wrong here? Okay, no, not that not that one, not that one. So client ID is variable. Let's use assign item dot oops, what is the name of our variable? Item, yeah. Why I couldn't catch the item? Why I couldn't catch the item here? We are out of the scope. That's why we couldn't catch the item. So okay, so it's my fault. It is in located model, our client ID. Perfect. So invoice create draft dash the client ID. Okay, let's test it first, then we can switch to other work item. Let's go client. Okay, now I'm going to create a draft list for test company 2. Okay, let's go back now. As you can see, this is test company, we received it. If I click that number 7 ASD, this is empty. Perfect, it is working. What if I sent this invoice? Okay, we have a problem. Let's go back. Yeah, this is not sent. Let's have a look what the problem is here. Invoice controller sent. Where is the cache? Okay, cache is seems to be cache is wrong. Let's have a look quickly. Let's try to send it one more time from our, yeah, let's click it. Let's have a look at cache key. It's, oh, we have a curly parenthesis received here. It's an extra. Let's stop the app, go back here. Okay, we forgot that thing here. That's why we received error message. Now try to send it one more time. Create invoice brick. Quantity is going to be 55. PO number, that one. Add product and create it. We have a breakpoint here. The cache key is correct. Continue. Here we go. It's created. All good, guys. It's working very smoothly. Now let's go back our previous problem, which is if we would like to create an invoice. Okay, PO number, whatever it is, add product. Oh, we need, my fault, we forgot to add. As you can see, we need to throw an error here. That's why we're receiving problem. Let's continue. Okay, let's select an item. Let's add product. Okay, it's added. When I go back, as you can see, it is going to be still in memory. It's coming back. I can't delete it, even if we go back. This is the thing. Why we're using cache memory. You keeping your data for a while, for a moment. In our settings is 10 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. We're going to check it later. But once we click the delete, it must be gone. Alright, let's build this first. Let's close the app. And it's going to be HTTP get method public AJAX result. Why happening to me again? Why action result? Let's say delete draft invoice. Delete draft invoice, and we're going to send a string cache key again. Perfect. Let's call our memory cache, remove cache key. It's done, it's deleted. All we need to do is return redirect to action all invoices, but we need a client ID this time. So while we're sending cache key, now we need to send the client ID with it. String client ID. Alright, let's take this client ID, and we don't need to send. You can describe the anonymous item explicitly like this, or you can just send the item itself like this. It's both working. Okay, now only thing left behind is we need to configure our remove button, if I'm able to find it. Okay, this is the delete button. So I'm going to use ASP action controllers root cache key. I'm going to copy all of them. Let's get the name of our action method. We send it invoice create draft model client. Okay, the second root we need to send is ASP root dash client ID. Those variables must be the same exactly in your parameters. Okay, do not forget about it. Okay, the client ID is a model dot client ID. Perfect. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's run the application. Get all clients. Okay, let's create an invoice. Select an item. Let's make it glue. Quantity is 5. Pure number is random. Add product. Perfect. Let's go back another pages. Alright, we came here. When we come back, it's still here. Let's click the delete. We receive the invoices. I want to be returned, not this page, but let's check if it's working or not. Let's reload the page. We need to go back to client list again. Actually, let me see. We can see the invoice list as well. I'm gonna put a logic. If we don't have any invoice list, we will return client list. If we have invoices, we will return to the other page. Let's create invoice. As you can see, it's gone. We don't have that draft list in our cache memory anymore. Okay, perfect. It is working now. Add our logic to define where we're supposed to go. How can we do this? So we need to get all invoices, right? So we need to make an API call here. invoice. Okay, var invoices. Wait, we need to make it again async, because invoice service is async method, has async methods. Get all invoices by company ID async. Okay, we have a client ID here. Perfect. So what is the problem? Integer ID. Okay, string client ID. Oh my gosh. Let's make it integer. Perfect. Yes, we sent the client ID. Okay, we have the invoices. As you can select invoice item. This is the action method. Okay, I'm going to type two different return. So if invoices dot count equals 0, okay, let's copy this one. We need to go back to clients at that point. Controller, client controller, get all clients. No. What was the page? What was the name of that page? Get all clients, right? Yeah, get all clients. Or let me run the app and see it again. Just give me a moment. I don't want to make it wrong. Let's go back up all clients. We have edited. Okay, we have a create invoice. We can go back here. Okay. It's not that important to adding logic or removing. You can optimize the project according to your needs. I'm just going to do what I thought in the first hand. Let's go get all clients in client, and we don't need to send any parameter. So if it's not, this one is going to work. Alright. Why we have a problem here now? Okay, we need to wrap it with the task, as it is async method. We have an async method. Perfect. Now let's run the application. Okay, we have a create invoice here. Let's click here, select an item, quantity and PO number, add product. Okay, now let's delete it. We are returning back client list. Now I'm going to create a real invoice. Okay, let's create it. It's created. Now let's actually, we need to fix this one as well before testing the other one. Let's fix this if you want, or let's go back quickly, reload. Okay, we're not able to add a new invoice now because we didn't build it. And why? Because I couldn't see the invoice list. It's broken. Company 7 6 5. What is the problem? We just created an invoice for this company. Okay, let's see the results from our API. Client 5, client 6, client 7. So what is the problem here then? Why I couldn't get the old invoice list here? It is weird. I'm gonna put a breakpoint. Where is my get all invoices? Okay. Reload. Client ID is not coming. Again, client ID problem. Oh my gosh. Okay, probably is again it's a root value error. So when we, let me go clients, get all clients. As you can see, if you don't use a, how can I say, a same variable name for everywhere, you're going to get these frustrating error messages all the time. Just be careful while you're sending. As you can see, get all invoices for company, we're sending ID, but we are waiting client ID. Okay, client ID, perfect. Let's save it. We fixed that one, but we forgot that one. Okay, let's stop the app and open again. Invoice list. Let's close this one now. Probably it's going to work. Yep, we have an invoice list here. Invoice list, by the way, date and time is fixed. And invoice list, here we go. Now we're going to work on this create new list, and we're going to test our other logic while we're deleting our draft. Okay, let's close this and let's have a look our invoice list. Get all invoices for company CSHTML. Okay, basically we need to send a request to create invoice for company. Okay, this is wrong. Yeah, let's paste here. Should we send any ID or something? We need to send a client ID. I'm gonna copy from here, ASP root client ID, copy. We need to send model ID. Don't we have any ID on model? List invoice DTO, perfect. So we need to use first and default. First or default ID. Okay. It tells you basically if it's null you're going to get error message, but it shouldn't be null because this page is restricted to join if the company doesn't have any invoice, so it won't be a problem. I'm just ignoring this warning with the exclamation mark and create new invoice. Let's try it and see if it's working. Okay, so let's use this one. Let's create new invoice. Here we go. Select an item, just send a glue, PO number, just number. Let's add product. What if I delete it? Okay, I send a back client list. Why I send a client list? Let's have a look the logic. That's because I didn't save it in the first one, I guess. Let's have a look again. Let's try one more time with debug mode. Invoice lead, create invoice, glue, quantity, PO number, add product, but we didn't create it. No, we didn't. Yeah. Once I delete it, it must be come here. Okay. The client ID is 21. Cache key is 21. Let's F10. We're removing the cache first. Yeah, it's okay. Do we have any invoices? Okay, we didn't receive any invoices. It's the problem. Invoice ID, we didn't receive any invoice. Let's have a look at the API site. Client ID 5. Okay, we're sending invoice ID instead of client ID. That's the problem. Client ID is 7, but we're sending 21 as an invoice ID. Oops, we closed the API. Run the API again. We must something wrong in this section. Sending our. Let's stop the app. Let's get back our create invoice. Okay. Invoice create drafts model.client ID. What is our model? Invoice create DTO. This is a big problem. Why our client ID change It is weird. Model client ID. But the send is working. It's really weird. Okay, I'm going to put a breakpoint again. Okay, invoice list, create new invoice, brick. Okay, before adding product, I'm going to check this one as well if I'm sending a wrong data. Where's my add product? Add product, add product, add product to list. Okay, let's send it. Here we go. Product ID 1, quantity is 77, client ID. Okay, the client ID we sent is wrong here. Oh, it's really weird how it was working the first hand. Then let's stop debugging. The client ID. Okay. Get all clients. Create invoice. This is the product ID. This is the quantity. The client ID is model.client ID. This is coming from our model. Okay. Then we need to put our breakpoint very beginning of everything. Get all clients now. Is it get all clients? Yeah, this is a company item ID. Sending client ID. It's really weird. Okay, let's put this beginning of everything. Create invoice for company. Run the app again. I wasn't expected that error, that bug, to be honest. Yeah, let's create invoice list, create new invoice. The client ID is 21. This is the wrong. When we create invoice, client controllers, get all clients, where is my create invoice ID? This is the get all invoices. Okay, create invoices. Where's my create invoice button here? Not you, get all invoices. Here is the create invoices for company. Okay, invoice DTO. This is my fault. We are sending the invoice DTO ID. We need to send it client ID. This is my fault, guys. Now it's fixed. Stop the app. Run one more time. Hopefully it is going to work now. Okay, let's remove those. Try to create a new invoice. Let's make it glue. Random add product. Once we delete it, we need to redirect us to invoices of related company. Let's delete. Remove everything. Yeah, this is the company invoice list. These are the invoice list, and it's returned. Let's see if it's deleted or not. This is empty. Perfect. It's working smoothly. Alright, we add new features to our application in this video. I'm going to finish this lesson here. I'm assuming it's really helpful to your progress. I know this is beginning. I'm saying this is a beginning level, but it's more than beginning level. if you are here and if you're watching this video, if you start my playlist from the 0 to here, probably you are no more beginner. You can consider yourself as a junior software developer, and you will able to find job really easy with those skills. I am assuming, yeah, and it depends on your skills as well, soft skills as well. Alright guys, I'm going to finish this lesson here. Next lesson we're going to go through update section, which is very similar to add section, but we're going to add some different features. Probably it's going to be finished 1 or 2 lessons, then I'm going to complete this lesson after reading our exception and the other things once we final check. I'm assuming 3 or 4 more lessons is going to be enough to finish this playlist, and our beginner roadmap from 0 to hero is going to be completed once for all, and you can enjoy those videos anytime you want guys. Alright, take care of yourself, see you on next lesson, bye bye.